Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Like this, oh, that's better. Should I crank her up a little bit? Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Hopefully everyone's doing well. El Supremo, what's going on? GST, good morning. First one's in the stream today. $739.60. What's going on, Mark? How you doing? Good morning. Scott, Kevin, good morning. Good morning. Happy to have you guys here. DPV. What's going on? Good morning. Make sure that sound suppression is on. Beautiful. All right. Good morning, Kaz. How you doing? We Buy House UK. Ruz, good morning. For today, so we have a lot of difficulty going into the open right now. I'm a little annoyed with it to start already, but it is what it is. If you guys notice, we are currently gapped up on SPY 0.08%. MNQ is gapped down 0.75. So we have some pretty nasty divergence already going into today. MCL also, this is one that I've been looking at quite a bit recently. This is continuing its trend to the downside, which is good. It means that the overall move that we're having right now is valid as long as it's to the upside, because MCL is going down. The market should be therefore heading a little bit higher. If not, one of these assets is lying, the market should pivot. We'll see. For right now, though, we have a very high gap fill percentage on SPY because it's only gapped up 0.08%. We go to SPY, past 6 months. Within that first bracket, we have an 82% stat with the current gap up that this will fill to the downside. The only disappointing part here is that Q's is gap down 0.75, so any upside bias on this is pretty much irrelevant. There's no reason to have an upside bias because if we go into the gap fill by size, we go into fourth bracket, there's only a 45% stat that this gets filled, which isn't great. Go back over the chart here. We do have an inside bar as well, so we should probably be heading towards that 27,938. I say that with a grain of salt because yesterday we had the same exact setup. We had previous day's high that into open was a whopping 10 points away. So we opened yesterday at 28,620. Previous day's high was 28,630, and we ended up taking previous day's low with an hour straight of nothing but downside. So we do have a decent setup for us to drop, I believe, but there's no bias into the open from me because of the divergence right now. Not really anything that we can do with that. For overall market data, for overall news, we don't really have anything heavy hitting today. We don't have any 8:30 data. We don't have any 10 o'clock data. We just have FOMC tomorrow. And that's about it. Scratch that. We do have consumer confidence. I missed that one. My apologies. So we do have some significant data there, but not really any heavy hitting news for today. For locating the gap, I did just see that question. The gap is just in the bottom right during pre-market. It says we're up 93 cents pre-market, 0.13%. Very easy, very simple. You just look in the bottom right of your screen. That's on TradingView. What's going on, GoBot? Good morning. Welcome into the stream. El Supremo, GST. Good morning. Not really too much else to look for. So the stat that I've been working with is that one that we covered last week, the ICT opening retracement. Let's go MNQ ICT opening retracement. We have an 80%-ish, 84 and 81 on MNQ that we retrace up to the 830 open, which for today, it's kind of irrelevant because we are currently opening on the 830 level. If you look, our 830 open for today was 28.10 and we're at 28.26. So I'm going to say it's a sure thing that it's going to hit regardless of opening over or underneath it. I think it's just whether or not, do we continue up with SPY and have a little bit of strength there, or do we get hit by the gap fill percentage on SPY and then have a fade down to previous day's low in Qs, which I think is more likely. I think QQQ into the open is most likely going to head down to previous day's low, which is 27,938. That is about 100 points from where we are right now, just about. That should be our TP into the open. I don't think that we're gonna kind of vary too far off of that. If we do open over the 830 open on MNQ, we also have this additional draw to the downside for a reason for why we should go short. So I think there's a lot of confluences on MNQ to go down into the open. And you can add the fact that SPY being gapped up 0.14% is it's a pretty heavy hitting stat that we go down to fill that gap on SPY. Gap up on MES, SPY. I'm gonna look at SPY instead of MES. Gap up is 82% chance to go and fill that since it's in the first bracket. And that is we're currently gapped up 0.14. So previous day's low, right at 27,938. We have SPY gap up 0.13%. This has an 80% stat that we go and fill that. And then the inside bars, these are all added together, by the way. Inside bars are now up to just about 91% that they work out and go and fill where we are looking for them to go and fill, which is nice. And yeah, that's everything that I'm going to be looking at. I think that we get downside into open. So I think directly into the open, we get a push down to that previous day's low. Gap fill by size on Qs is very low that we go and fill that. I mean, 0.45 isn't terrible. That's only 6 months, a year. It's 50-50. So it's not terribly unlikely that we could go up and fill it or could not, but the one that I'm leaning on is SPY. I already told you the gap is in the bottom right of the screen. It's 96 cents up, 0.13%, 0.12 now. That's how you locate the gap. It's from previous day's New York close to the following open. Just wanted to ask, how many do you size with 25K accounts? Just past one. You can do 1 to 2. 1 to 2 MNQ. That's what I do for sizing on those. Lucid just launched, if you guys didn't see yesterday, Lucid just launched a daily payout account. So you can get a 2-day pass and then daily payouts. There is no max on the daily payout that I saw. Let me go to frequently asked questions here. Go to daily, Lucid Pro daily loss, Lucid daily. There we go. So bring this over. These are their new accounts that they launched yesterday. They did it under the radar as well, so there's no release, or there was no previous release on this. They just kind of said, hey, we're going to release this, not tell anyone. This is the account right here. It's the Lucid Daily. So the fixed daily loss limit on the accounts, this is something that you can add or deactivate. So if you choose daily loss limit on, the accounts are cheaper. If you choose daily loss limit off, the accounts are a little more expensive. I think they're 105 for the 25Ks. $600 daily loss limit fixed. If you remove it, obviously you don't have one. It's $12.50 to pass the 25Ks. And then once you get into the account, if I can go and find Lucid Daily, here we go. So once you get into the account, you need to get to 1,100, which is probably the best in the space for this price. 1,100, and then once you reach that, you can get daily payouts. The maximum daily payout is $6,000 on one account, which is insane. So you can get a 6K payout on a 25K account. Then you get moved live, unfortunately, if you get that 6K. Lucid Daily differs from other plans that doesn't follow a strict payout cap per request. Instead, there's a maximum amount of sim profit that can be earned in a day. If you meet or exceed the daily amount, you are automatically moved live. So you want to keep this just under 6,000 if you want to kind of farm them a little bit. So if you buy a 50K daily account, yeah, it's 6K per account per day, Clementine. It's ridiculous. So you can get a 30K payout on 5 accounts, 5 of the daily accounts, which I'm sad they launched these after I'm no longer able to buy them. It is what it is. It's okay. I forgive them. These accounts, you could get a 30K payout on the 25Ks and then get moved live. The best part about them, you don't need to hit that 30K. If you're under 6,000 profit, you could probably get up to $50,000-$60,000 with these if you just take daily payouts and then maybe, I'm not saying purposely blow the account, but if you lose the account and then go back to trying to buy it and then lose the account, pass it, get a couple payouts, lose it. So these are arguably some of the best accounts that I've seen them launch. Probably some of the best accounts in the space. The only requirement for a payout is just $1 net profit from where you took the payout. So you can take back-to-back daily payouts. If you make $5,999 in a day, you can take back-to-back daily payouts, make $1 the next day, and now you have 30K in 2 days, which is very good. 90-10 profit split as well. I don't see what the prices are to them. All I know is that these are, again, very, very good accounts. And then once you get to the Lucid Daily Live, the amount is capped at a fixed amount of 15,000. So the cap is the same regardless of the account size. Transition to live, 25K account. It's pretty much, it looks like it's the same as all the other plans they have. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,500. No consistency rules in live. Live bonus, there's no live bonus for traders who are moved live from a daily live or daily Lucid account. Pretty good. All right, now going back over to SPY, it's still 0.12%. Kindly tell us more about the 5-minute orb strategy. So you can take a payout on day 1 if you full port and hit over 1,600. Yeah, you can day 1 on the funded account, but you cannot, unfortunately, you can't pass the account in 1 day like their other accounts, their other plans, which is a little unfortunate. I'm going to be into open. I'm going to be eyeing down to 27,938. Sorry, not 29. 27,938. I think that either way, we should wick 28.11. If we open over 28.11, that's the 8:30 open. We go down almost immediately. If we open under it, we wick up and then go down to previous day's low. And I may end up taking a trade off of this because I am on my live account. I moved the balance back down to 2,000. So see if I can go on that run again. 2,000 to 27 or 30K. I don't use the 5-minute orb. Never mind. Yes, I do use that. What am I saying? So the 5-minute orb, opening range breakout, we have a 70% stat that we double break that. So if we go to yesterday, for instance, yesterday we did not double break because it was immediate downside for the entire day, for the entire first hour of market opening. Even the IB didn't even have a retracement. We broke the IB within like the first 10 seconds. The previous session, though, you can see that we broke the orb high. So our 5-minute candle formed. We broke the high, and then we had the double break to the downside. So I'm going to zoom way in here. The stat is 70% that we double break the first 5-minute range. So low, high. You can see the range of that 5-minute candle. I'm actually going to, for my cursor, let's see, more settings, canvas, crosshairs. I don't want crosshairs on here anymore. How do I hide those? Symbol. I guess I'll just make them the same color as the chart. That didn't really do anything. So you can see our low, high. This candle broke to the upside 28,622, and then we went and took the downside on the third 5-minute candle. That's the 5-minute double break on the orb. Pretty reliable. I do like shorts in the open, yes. Probably not going to take them, but because yesterday I would like to take them directly into the open if we hadn't done what we did yesterday, which I know I shouldn't compare it to that. Yesterday, if I had the same thought process, which I did, we had the 8:30 open that was way up at 28,646, so it was just above previous day's high, which would have been 2 added confluences. We had a 90% stat and an 80% stat to go up and take the previous day's high as well as the 8:30 open. We missed previous day's high by 10 points and ended up taking previous day's low in Qs. We had a 430 point drop in 45 minutes down to previous day's low. So today, same exact concept. We have the 8:30 open that is just below us, and we have previous day's low that is right at 27,938. So 2 points of confluence to go down and take that low. We could whiplash and go all the way up and take previous day's high. There's no telling. It's a little risky. But I do like the low getting taken out. The 8:30 open, the opening candle retracement, also works for MGC and MCL. So MGC for the opening retracement, we have a 80% stat that we go up to the 8:30 open. And then for CL, also pretty much the same stat, 72 and 74. So it's a very high confidence play over all assets. Yesterday we did not hit it, so it was 1 out of 5 is the math behind it. On average, 1 out of 5 days each week, you're not going to go and hit that level. What's going on, Harry? Good morning. Evelina, good morning. That might be the best account right now. Yeah, if you guys do go and pick up the Lucid account, code Zinc, per usual. Ooh, I finally got a buck on my trail cam. Nice. Got some really good pictures on that. Very off topic. Yeah, I think they might be better than the Lucid Pros right now. Those daily payout accounts are very good. Very, very good. I do have some select accounts with Tradeify as well. I've been working on those. I'm a fan of the select daily because there's no required profit per day, or there's no required minimum profit. You don't need to make 150 for it to qualify as a trading day. So I'm a fan of those accounts. I believe it is the best account right now. So you could pass it on the second day and instantly activate. You could get the payout by the second day. So it's 2 days to a payout on those accounts. I just further read the rules because there's instant activation on them. I like the new Lucid daily plan, but how do you deal with the intraday drawdown during funded though? The intraday drawdown, you just have to slowly build your buffer until you get out of it. It does stink, but if you have a trade that hits, this is the best way that I've gone about hitting or trading intraday trailing drawdown accounts. If you have a trade that goes and hits your TP, the intraday drawdown is irrelevant. But what you can do with those accounts is, for instance, on the IB, if you have a directional move like we had down yesterday, your full TP is going to hit. Also, here's our, sadly, it's happening just before open, but here's our move back down to previous day's low. This is like a 50 point drop from where we just were. The best way to get out of the drawdown is just constantly secure the small losses or the wins that you have. Don't worry so much about the stop loss on the trade. You can hit your TP and the account's drawdown doesn't follow up at all if you hit your TP, because there was no spike. The profit on that trade doesn't go higher. The best way to go about trading them is not to be greedy on the profits. So you don't want to constantly aim for more on those accounts, or you're going to get whacked on the trailing intraday drawdown. It does kind of stink, but the reward is that you get everyday payouts and then the uncapped profit target or uncapped payout on the Lucid daily lives. I think they're pretty good. A lot of people focus on the drawdown feature, the intraday trailing drawdown feature. It's not terrible. It's obviously not great to have on there, but it's not. The reward is well worth it. The reward of getting the daily payout or hitting a max profit target is well worth it. But for like my funded futures accounts, those have the rapids have trailing intraday drawdown. While I'm in the drawdown phase, I secure like $100 to $200 profit. So even if you take a whole bunch of trades, if your bias is correct, by the way, so what I mean by securing the profits, if I were short on the IB yesterday, for instance, I know this is a bad example because we didn't get an entry. Let's say I entered right at the IB 50 and I immediately go up $200 or $300. I'll secure that, and then it's kind of like micromanaging it, which may not be the best idea. I'll secure it and then re-enter another trade on a pullback. So if my first entry was at IB 50 and the next candle pulls back up, because price doesn't like to go directional the entire time, if you guys didn't know. Price likes to kind of typically go in waves, but go in a trend to the downside or a trend to the upside. For trailing intraday drawdown accounts, I trade them by constantly securing the profits. $100 in profit, $200 in profit, secure it, and then wait for a pullback. If the IB is still valid, you can get into it. Or just as long as you have the bias correct, you have the bias to the downside, then you're all set. Also, my little pre-market plan kind of just got whacked. We just hit previous day's low. So my bias is no longer present. If anything now, if we somehow open below, SPY is still somehow gapped up. I don't know how. If we somehow open below previous day's low, then we have an outside day. We should still go and target up to 28.11, which is that 8:30 open. We have an 80% stat to go to that level for the opening retracement. MNQ 84 and 81. We open below right now, so we have an 81% stat that we go to that level. Not too shabby. It kind of stinks though. That was a very strong opening bias. Nice little, almost 100-point move down to that level, and we immediately hit it. 27,938.5. That's previous day's low, right? Yeah, 27,938.5. We're gonna go right to that. What is going on out there? $30 seconds to open. Probably, since we're opening basically right above that previous day's low, we're gonna snap down through it and then probably do something like that. I have no idea what button I just clicked. Change interval? How do I, oh, I didn't know that was a thing. If I just hit numbers. Cool. We took the low by 0.75. Open just above it and already snapped and took it. So no bias here now. No upside or downside bias at all. We should actually, we have a small upside bias. We should go and take 28.11 out for the opening retracement. But the open that we just had snapped below previous day's low. So we opened above it, snapped below. No more bias there. Gold, you could do the same thing. I think actually gold just did the same exact thing. It just popped up to the 830 open to the point, and now we're right back down. 28.11 is the 830 open. I'm a little sad that it did that on the 5-minute candle before the open, because that was a really strong bias to go down. What's going on, Summaries? How you doing? That was a really strong bias to the downside. Previous day's low plus the gap fill on SPY, which is already taken. And then we had pretty much 50-50 on the gap fill for MNQ, but nothing I can do there. $100-point candle just before the open. Sad. If you guys don't like the trailing intraday drawdown, you don't have to get the accounts. They're not, I mean, they're in line with the pros. The pro accounts and the Lucid dailies are pretty much the same plan in my eyes. But if you do want to, it's a day faster to get the payout. And I think the risk reward to it with having an uncapped payout, you could essentially get $15,000 in 2 days on the 25Ks. Which I think they are, let's see, 40% off right now. That's the promo they have valid. Actually, no, never mind. That was until 07/24. Scratch that. Let's see what their current sale is. 40% off. But the previous sale they had was 40% off on the pros with no daily loss limit included. Would have been pretty good. All right, we've snapped below previous day's low now. I think we should snap back up to this high, 28.11, which is where we open that 830 candle. If not, that'll be back-to-back days where we don't go and take out that level, which would be kind of funny because we just started looking at this report. Report that has an 80% stat to it. We just started looking at this past week, and now it's 2 days in a row where it's not playing out. This is what I wanted to happen yesterday, just with previous day's high. We missed it by 10 points. And then snap back down. No bias so far. I'm leaning a little bit to the upside, but that's only because of that 830 retracement. 739.99 on SPY, and then 28.11 on MNQ. So 100-point move up from where we are right now. It's not a super high stat though, so it's not something that you go and look at and it immediately needs to hit. It could hit until, but we could hit this level at 6 o'clock because it is on MNQ. The time frame that this is set to is 9:30 to 11, so we could also hit it at 11. For New York time frame, we could go and hit it at 4 o'clock. Sorry, not 6 o'clock. That was a bad example. But we could take this level out all the way into close today. It has about the same chance of hitting. It's 4% less if you just look at the 9:30 to 11 window, which is in line with the IB as well. So it's not a crazy stat across the board, but it's not terribly uncommon that we don't go and hit that right into the open. What's your directional bias on CL? Crude, I didn't really look at one for this morning. The overall trend is definitely to the downside. It's kind of odd that the entire market is selling off together. So crude typically inverses what the market's doing. However, if we go and look at MNQ and crude are essentially doing the same thing. We could overlap these charts on the daily time frame. If I can remember how to do this, I'll add MCL in here. So on the daily time frame, these charts are essentially doing, if I zoom in, there you go. We're doing the same exact thing on crude and CL, which is very suspect. These are supposed to be counter assets. Obviously, they're not doing that right now. Better yet, you can see if we go back to like a couple of weeks ago, crude was going sky high and we were flat to actually slightly down on MNQ, which is what's supposed to happen. Not what we're doing right now, where they're perfectly lined up for the past 2 days and the directionally down move. It's kind of funny. Nothing we can do about it, but kind of funny. That is confusing you. It should be, because we shouldn't be doing that. Last thing that I'll add in to this. So for the bias today, this isn't something that I would play, but for just trading in general, the current bias is very much to the downside. It's very directionally bearish. 80% of the time, this is going to continue. So if we zoom out on the 15-minute, we can see that we have made nothing but lower highs and lower lows for, let's see, lower highs and lower lows on the 15-minute since June 30th. So almost a month of lower highs and lower lows. And if you want to be, actually, it looks like it was a little bit longer. So our last high was June 16th. So we've made lower highs and lower lows since then. Lower highs and lower lows means it's a downtrend. Simple as that. So you continue targeting further down until the trend starts making higher lows and higher highs. As it stands right now, lower lows and lower highs for the entire month of July, essentially. We have volatility from what Trump's saying. We have volatility from just the market in general kind of cooling off at all-time highs. So continue going in this direction 80% of the time. Dan is at 10, yes. Dan will be on at 10. Ooh, excuse me. It's very disappointing about that opening move. That would have been something strong to go and play had it not been taken out so so early. If you guys are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like, subscribe. I think I'm almost at 6,000. What's going on, Futures Kyle? How you doing? SPY is very bearish right now. Probably no recovery up unless we make a pivot, a strong pivot coming up here. Probably nothing anytime soon for that 830 retracement. This is currently a 200-point opening candle. Not even 10 minutes yet. So our open was just about 28,000, 27,994, 993. This is 200 points on the dot right now to the downside in the first 10 minutes. 2 5-minute candles. Do we repeat what we did yesterday? Do we have the same exact outcome? Time for Soxel. Almost. I'm going to let this get right to 100. I'm going to let it get right to 100. And then we can start looking to maybe take a speculative long. Also, if you guys are trying to trade this, don't feel like you need to be in a trade all the time. Like you don't need to be in a long or short for the entire duration of the session. You don't need to be taking a position, always having a position open. Yes, it's going to be directionally down. Don't feel like you're missing the move, though. Like, you can just watch this, which is what I know may be frustrating if I do this, but you can just sit here and watch the chart and it will be fine. I promise you. Or better yet, you can look at the data that we have coming up and note that you can avoid anything until 10 o'clock. Oops. Thank you for the warning. It is going to look like it's continuing lower. So pretty much every pop's probably going to be the same sell-off as it was yesterday. 840 back down to 27.8. 40-point pivot back down in 1 minute. Do have data at 10, just so everyone knows. Consumer confidence at 10. $8.15, $8.12. Also, don't try to buy this. Don't try to open NQ and sell, then go to sleep. Yeah, that's been the trend for the last 2 weeks. Do not be the person that tries bottom ticking this. If you're gonna trade into this, just continue taking shorts because it will continue short the majority of the time. The vast majority of the time, it will continue short. And another 100-point drop on the 1 minute. 27,840 to 27,760 right now. How would I go about trading this? Any green candle, just take a short into it. I think that's the best, probably the best and only way to go about trading this. Because it will stay directionally short. I'm a little disappointed I didn't get in on that pullback. It's be a nice 100 points down. The directional shorts will continue for longer than you can fathom. So there's no, the market doesn't owe us any upside. It doesn't owe us a pivot back up or down for that matter. So this can continue in this direction for the next hour if it wanted to. Very much like we did yesterday. Yesterday, I'm sure you guys, if you were on stream with Andre, you heard him. Oops. Press and hold escape. Sorry about that. Sure, if you were on stream with Andre yesterday, you saw him miss a short entry. He didn't take longs afterwards, but he was waiting for a pullback to get into shorts, and we ended up just continuing down for the entire trading session. The entire thing. So the market doesn't owe us a pivot back to the upside or downside. Also, do not make the mistake of thinking if you get into a position, it's going to go and hit lower lows and lower lows. Holding a position for a long time, yes, you can get a lot of profit from that. Like if you were short from yesterday's open, great. Until you get a tweet from Trump, which we did have yesterday at 12:15. 12:15 or 12 o'clock, we had a tweet that said Iran wants to talk, and we wicked up, I think it was 140 points, and then went right back to resuming that downside. So the longer that you're in the market, the longer that you're exposed to what the market's doing, the more likely it is that you're going to catch a news candle or a tweet that kind of screws you out of your position if you're trying to hold it. 15-minute orb formed and immediately broken. 15-minute orb low taken. He said he would rather get wicked out than not getting in at some point. What an odd thing to say. Well, I mean, he's exactly right in saying that, because if you do get into a position like that and you have Trump tweet something, or you have the market pivot on you on a dime, the worst thing that can happen, the absolute worst thing that can happen, is you hold a position for longer than you should, and then you're eating X amount of stop losses because of tweets, and then you're caught in the chop for the rest of the day. And there's no revenge trading back. Dan will be live shortly, yes. He'll be live in the next 14 minutes with us. What's up with Futures Elite? I've been seeing them a lot recently. Futures Elite. Anyone in here traded them yet? Or used them? I would disagree with that as long as a person doesn't chase the trade. You can chase it. Chasing isn't terrible, because most of the time you're going to continue in that direction anyway, 80% of the time, which is why I'm saying if you're going to trade this, just make sure you continue going short. That's just if you're revenge trading it. This will continue longer in one direction than you could imagine. So if you're continuing to short the market right now, that's in your benefit. It will continue lower 80% of the time. Only 20% of the time it will pivot. That's including news. That's including pretty much everything else that you could get screwed over with. Trump tweeting. You have Iran that comes out and says that, I don't know, we're going to war, we're closing the strait. Whatever news that we could have come out. But this is, like this candle right now, this is another 100 points to the downside with that little tiny wick up. We went up to 27,768. We're down 110 points right now from that continuation. That could have been the 15-minute orb short. That could have been a lot of things, but for the most part, that is simply just taking the same direction. That's all. There's no reason to go against what the bias is telling us, which is very, very much to the downside, very much short bias. Open NQ and sell, then go to sleep. I like it. Sad that the World Cup's over. No more games to watch. Do I think we get upside? The only thing that could save us, is this right here, consumer confidence at 10. We do have FOMC with a rate decision tomorrow, so that's going to be extremely volatile at 2. FOMC days I have struggled with. We do also have NFP on next Friday. Not this Friday, next Friday. First Friday of the month. August, which is insane that we're already there. That's pretty much the only thing that could save us, but we do keep in mind that CME Group, CME FedWatch, we have a 99% chance that we do not get a rate cut anytime soon. So this one, it's 100% that we don't get a rate cut now. They are looking at hikes. We have a 32% chance we have a hike tomorrow. And then if we go further out, we are actually favored. So our current rate's 350 to 375. For September 16th, we are favored. We have a 78% stat that we get a rate hike, which would pulverize the market right now if we get a rate hike, because we've been talking about getting back down to 2% for how long now? 3 years, 4 years. And then the further out you go, unfortunately, the worse it gets. We have a 14% rate for a pause in October. December is a 9% stat for a pause, and then 7% in January of next year, which no good. CME, yes, they did launch the independent stock futures yesterday. They are out. However, there's no volume on them whatsoever. There's no volume on the independent futures. So there is volume. People are trading them. But if you guys saw what Brett Simba posted this morning for Tradeify looking to add the independent stock futures as a plan. So it's not going to be something that you can trade on a typical 50K funded or 50K growth account. I'll actually read the exact tweet that he had this morning. They just don't have any volume on it. So it's going to be a completely different account that you go and trade. We planned a single stock futures plan this week, but it seems like we will have to delay until volume comes in to allow us to test. The only stock that had price or volume on it, there was one contract of NVDA bought. That's it. So there's no volume at all on single stock futures. No one wants to get into them right now, probably because there might be an error or something. But this is the current, so this is as of last night at 8 o'clock. There's one contract of NVDA, which is single stock NVIDIA. The indicator is edgeful, initial balance breakout. Edgeful, initial balance breakout. MCL with a remarkable recovery, a point higher, so this downside's finally validated. Finally validating downside. It's for the IB. It's the initial balance breakout. You can go into indicators if you have edgeful and go into invite only, and they will be right here. $50-point pop right back up. 100 points right back up. I don't know what's wrong with this tab, but it won't refresh on here. There we go. Now it's following. The top wouldn't follow what it was doing for M&Q's price. You go into your invite only scripts, and it is underneath edgeful initial balance. Should be going back lower here. Back to low day-ish. 670 is the only cycle we have on M&Q at the moment that could bounce us. But it should continue to low a day. And then we have previous day's low on SPY that we just barely missed, 735.88. That should be what our target is into open right here, 735.87. MGC could be making a move higher too. Any other reports we can look at? Not really at the moment. No, there's only so much for a bias that we can get for the open. I mean, right now, I would say our best one is previous day's low on SPY, which would carry M&Q down with it as well. Should carry M&Q down with it. I don't know what's going on with, it's not refreshing the top left. Usually tells me which way price is going. A little annoying. What indicator is that? I already answered that one. We have some time, something surrounding the single stock futures update. Do you know anything about it? Just that they don't have any volume coming into it, so they can't get an accurate measure for how many people are actually trading it or what the risk parameters would be. That's our only issue at the moment. They'll eventually come out and say, hey, we're able to launch this now, or we're not able to launch it. But when they do, it is already launched. Keep that in mind. It's already available to trade. Everything is all set. There's just a lot of skepticism around people actively wanting to trade it, which you can't really blame them. It's a brand spanking new environment in the market. It's never been done before. They tried it in, I want to say 2017. So almost 10 years ago, they tried activating single stock futures, and they couldn't get it done because no one wanted to actively trade those single stock futures. So that's the issue they're having at the moment, is no one wanting to go and kind of take the first leap, or take the leap into trading those single stock futures. It's the main issue, which is understandable. I don't think big money really wants to put their name behind something that is brand spanking new and hasn't been tested. Imagine what the slippage must be like. I think, let's see if we can find any of them. It's NVDA, NVIDIA futures. So this is the current volume on it. If I turn on the volume, so there was 12 contracts bought at 9:30's open. So there's 1, 12, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 22, 23 contracts in total bought on NVIDIA, and that's the only one that has volume on it. Apple has 27 contracts bought. Tesla has nothing. Amazon has nothing. So it's Apple and NVIDIA, that's it. Not a market you want to be a part of. Yeah, imagine what the slippage is on this. Imagine what the slippage you're going to take on these single stock futures would be. If there's no volume whatsoever and you're trying to get in and or out of position, and you go try to close it in the next available contract, like you can see it very apparent on this NVIDIA chart. You opened let's say you open a long, or no, you open a short at 197.29. The only next volume point is 198. That's the only available level for you to liquidate your position, is 198. So even though you have a winning position, there's not enough volume. It's not even, the chart's not even moving, even though the market's open, which is bad. It's a cool concept, but if there's no one to actively go and trade the concept, or there's no one to actively get in and out of the positions, then that defeats the purpose of having the futures open. There's no reason to trade single stock futures if no one can get in and out of positions. Try to get out of a position. Everyone in here should know that MNQ has slippage enough. So if you're trying to get the same position on a stock that has 2, 3, 4, 5 shares being traded, it's pretty bad. It's like a roach motel. What the heck is that? We should snap down to previous day's low coming up here shortly. I don't imagine we're going to pivot too much, because the bias is still very, very, very bearish. Previous day's low hasn't gotten taken out yet, so it should. We might be able to get an entry on the IB. We'll see. I hope we do. It's been a while. TP would be at current IB low, yes. It's looking up very, very slightly. It's not anything crazy. Trend is still very much bearish. Good morning, Dan. Look at that sweatshirt.
I know, right?
Look at that.
I know. It fits me beautifully as well. I mean, it's a large, but I'm just obviously a big boy, aren't I? How you doing, mate?
Not too bad.
Good,
I don't know what's going on with my chart there. It will not.
Can I ask you an honest question? I want an honest answer as well.
Yeah, go for it.
On a scale of 1 to 10, right? How much did you miss me last week? Anything below a 5 is not acceptable.
5.1.
That
was a rather lonely stream. It was very quiet.
Can imagine, because you're on stream with somebody each time you come on, right? So it must be a bit weird to be on your own now.
Yeah,
you were on your own
myself,
previously.
Yeah, I used to do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday by myself.
Ah, okay.
Funny enough.
Do you genuinely prefer it with other people though?
That's fine either way. I don't mind.
Well, it'd be a bit awkward if you're no. Prefer it on my own, actually.
No, I want
you can go, mate.
I always attend. Dan got the posh Pommy accent.
Posh Pommy. Oh, Pommy. Is this guy? This guy must be an Aussie then. If he's calling me a Pommy.
Not a clue.
Yeah, he must be an Aussie.
You know what? I will. I'll trade on the Tradeify ones today, even though they're evals, because I get a lot of questions passing the evals. You guys can see my blown funded on here from long ago.
What evals have you chosen?
We got the 50K select
Okay. Yeah.
this go around. I just saw your post about the getting instant funded accounts.
Mm,
I'm
it's
against
you know what
getting
it's
funded.
it's only because like I've taken, if you look at all my payouts in terms of not the amount of payouts but the dollar amount of payouts, it's like 90% is from straight to funded accounts. It's
Yep.
really fascinating. Like I've just seemed to just thrived off those sort of accounts. I think they just as I said in my expos, it just kind of suits my trading style. I think like
Yeah.
I don't care how long it takes me to get to a payout on them, especially these days now that I'm copy trading so many of them. Like I honestly don't care how long it takes as long as I get them there eventually. But yeah, I'm South African, Dan. Do South Africans call the English? I mean I'm Welsh, but do the South Africans call English people pommies as well? I didn't know that.
So.
Yeah. Because we call the Aussies convicts. Because we sent all of our convicts there years and years and years ago. But South Africans,
yeah, brutal. It is.
Yeah.
How about 15%
yeah.
consistency?
Yeah, this is it.
Even worse.
If you're gonna do consistency, if you're gonna be able to take payouts and consistency rules, you're gonna have to so focus on base hits.
There it is, Seamus.
Like you have to be able to do that.
I didn't say there.
What's that?
Reasons. I meant the side of the ocean. I said one time with James on stream that you guys are on the same side. Same side of the pond.
Didn't you say the same hemisphere?
I didn't say hemisphere. No.
You know? Someone pull that clip up.
What's going on, Joey? How you doing? I think that shorts are gonna play out pretty well. This is a nice retracement back into the IB.
Yeah.
I like further downside from this.
I was really hoping it wasn't going to go down any more though, because the IB size is already 1.2% already, 300 point size. So I don't want it going down anymore.
I'm really quiet compared to Dan. I don't know what's been going on with my mic. I apologize for that.
I'm trying a new position for the mic at the moment. Kind of moved my stand more to the side and stuff, trying it there. So I'm glad it sounds.
I do need to get a stand for mine.
I
haven't got one of those yet. And a little boom
I've
mic.
recently bought like a desk stand one for the mic, because if I ever decide to go on holiday or go traveling anywhere anytime soon, then I'm not going to take this big huge can you imagine trying to get this through security at the airport, the big huge arm for the microphone.
You know, we are actually pivoting very strong right now on SPY, but I still think that, I mean, we could definitely go and take that 8:30 open. We do have an hour left to do it. I just not all that confident in it. I don't see it as that strong of a level.
You're looking at SPY, aren't you? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at both SPY and Qs.
It's shorts or nothing at the moment, for sure.
Yeah. Bias is too bearish, I think. I don't think we're going to get really any upside. But this was a nice pivot back into lowish volume. It's a nice pivot back into the range. So it should continue lower here, I'd imagine. And just as I say that, we get back below 27.7, and now it's maybe I should say it's a strong pivot and then immediately go into a short position. Because as soon
look
as
at
I
that
said
bounce,
that, we just knife down.
Look at that bounce off VWAP though.
That's a big symbol on edgeful. Yeah, the sweatshirt. I like the sweatshirt.
It's nice.
Edgeful logo. I do agree. But it's a nice sweatshirt. It's a nice acid wash. I like it.
Yeah. I can only wear it inside though. The temperature outside at the moment is 40 degrees Celsius and it's like 6 p.m. So I can't wear this outside. That's for sure.
Yikes. Yes, double break in play. The 5-minute double break. That was a little bit of a stretch to get back up there. 7:39:52. Could definitely double break, but I don't think it's that likely. I think it's more so we're just gonna continue chopping lower to that low, previous IB low.
Sweat it
Continue
out, Dan.
Shorter bias. Sweat it out. Sweat the sweatshirt.
I will do. For edgeful, I will sweat it out. Do not worry.
Double break of 15-minute or with 1-minute break above New York VWAP. I don't really see anything about this being bullish, though, is the thing. If anything at all, being bullish.
No.
Because we'd have to make a significant push back to the upside for any of those levels to be in discussion.
Yeah.
Gold's about to go take its high, though.
From a VWAP point of view, we'd have to smash through the New York VWAP, through the IB50, through the daily VWAP to get back up to the IB high there. That would have to be one hell of a reversal.
And take a new IB low right now.
Yeah.
It's looking that way anyway.
I would love it. I would love it if it just sort of does this for the next sort of 10, 15 minutes. Would love it if it does
just
that.
Chops right here, and then we can take our short.
Yeah, just stay below New York VWAP. You know, not a single candle has closed below the VWAP yet. Like this is like, for me at the moment, we're the right side of both VWAPs. The New York VWAP is nice and low. This is like A+ for me at the moment.
Right now.
Yeah, as long as it just doesn't move too far lower, and then the IB range just becomes huge. You know what I mean?
It's already big.
It's all it's already big.
Let's hold hands and pray for a Trump manipulation tweet. Why would you want to pray for that?
No.
Why is that something that you want to see?
Have you had one work in your favor?
No, I have not, Dan. Have you?
No, I genuinely haven't.
How do you toggle between IDs and Trade Evade? I just have different tabs open.
And did you already take the trade?
Tuesday stats are not the best. I will add in for the high forming first. They're not great. Trade Evade. Oh, I just talking about Trade Evade. I just got an email from them. Explore the new Trade Evade dashboard. So
Tuesday for the IB, highest form first, lowest form second in the last 6 months. Yeah, look at that.
The Tuesday teas.
The Tuesday teas, yeah. Did you see my Friday teas though on stream? On the actual TV stream on Friday. Nah, I was 1.5 points away from TP, and then it absolutely reversed very aggressively against me.
Was that the 10th? Did that happen to be the 10th? I got screwed.
No, it was last Friday. Whatever date last Friday was.
I did not see that. I apologize.
That sucked.
I got absolutely destroyed on the last time, July 10th, I think. I was in a position where Trump tweeted something and I got cooked. I got damn cooked.
July 10th.
Yeah.
Me too.
I got destroyed.
I mean, it's one of those where, and let's just have a look. I got cooked on my Top Step accounts, particularly. I lost on all my accounts, but the Top Step accounts, the slippage was, I was meant to lose $220 on the Top Step accounts.
Mm-hmm.
Most accounts I lost like $250, something like that. For the Top Step accounts, I lost $430. So the slippage was like over $200 just on the top. By the way. Yeah, there it is. That was the trade on 10th of.
Though, yeah, Friday, July 10th, I got demolished. I was, I think, like 7 points off TP as well.
Yep, same.
Yeah, you have
Same.
it pulled up. I was
Same.
right at TP, and then whoop.
Look at that. Same as you. That was beautiful. We had the previous session highs. We had an inside bar start as well.
Yep,
We had the
so many reasons.
high.
So
Yep.
many reasons to go up.
Yep. That truly sucked, that one.
Oh man, look at that pushback down.
Because you're trading evals, will you be okay with like if the range gets big?
I'll take this regardless if it.
Yeah.
The size I don't really care about in the eval. New IV low made though. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, that's a shame.
So it's another 50-ish points to go on. I mean, we don't really have any cycles to take out either. What's the double break stat? Let's see this. What's the double break stat chance on the 15-minute orb for gold? Because gold just finally took the high. So I was watching that inside. 15-minute double break stat for MGC.
Just share your screen. Make sure you share your screen.
Thank you, Dan.
There you go.
59%. So I could take a short on gold right now to target the downside. MCL is still pretty weak as well, so it's not. This isn't validated downside, but I'll take the short regardless of the sizing because I want to get these passed.
Yeah,
I had a little funny mishap, which ended up being good for me. Actually ended up being really good on my funded futures accounts, my funded pros. I accidentally traded on my funded accounts instead of the evals, and I thought I was trading on the evals.
So the size was bigger.
Yes, it was much bigger. But it ended up working in my benefit because so with my funded futures now you can have 10 accounts. So if I don't like the size of the moves in the market, what I've been doing on the side, because I have been trading my personal as well, on the side I will go and trade a set of 5 evals to try to have them passed and backed up. I traded on the funded accounts instead of the evals, ended up making 2,170. I was like, oh damn, I gotta lose money now. And then I went to manipulate the group over, and I saw that they were on the funded account, not the eval account. So I made 2,170 completely on accident. So I guess I could say that I got lucky with Trump tweets, but completely on accident on a funded account. And now I'm almost qualified for. Actually, I am qualified for a payout. I could take 2,500 out right now.
That's good.
Completely accidental, not purposeful at all.
But you need a bit of luck sometimes, though.
Oh, you need a whole bunch of luck for trading.
Yeah,
a whole bunch of it. 5-minute double break is favored on gold. I don't know if I'd go and take shorts on gold. We broke the IB to the upside right now. This is another 70 points lower. 27.6 is our psych level that we might bounce off of. But again, the point that I was making all this morning, everyone, do not be the person that tries bottom calling this. Don't try to save the day with your sim account going long, because it will not do anything.
Yeah,
I promise.
I'm on the cusp of my risk at the moment. On my normal, I've got some traders launch evals I'm trying to pass at the moment, so I can go something similar and trade those.
Did I see you using Futures Elite?
No, not yet.
No,
not yet. There's someone I may look at though in the future. I know some people
a lot
are
of
trading
people
them
using him recently. I was just interested. what their rules might be.
Mm,
I do
no,
want
not
to try
yet.
them. I just had the haven't had the time. I have so many open accounts right now. It's not even funny. So the benefit to me even taking anything on additional accounts is not really. I get swamped down, and then I ended up taking worse positions on accounts.
Yeah.
For whatever I can't do more than 3. So if I have 3 active trades that I'm trying, or not 3 active trades, but 3 active firms that I'm trying to trade on, I can't manipulate or I can't have all of them going at the same time. But I also at the same time don't want to use the trade copier. Just a personal preference.
Yeah.
So it's a uphill battle for me at the moment. Blue Guardian has been popping off in terms of popularity.
Yes, they are actually going to be the firm I look into in August. I think every month, as long as I earn my right to keep scaling up and I'm not blowing accounts and I'm not being irresponsible with risk and I'm being responsible with my accounts, I'm always looking to scale up. And I think in August, I'll look to Blue Guardian for the 25Ks. It'd be interesting with the 25Ks because like the top one, for example, the 25Ks, they're tough because I've got 6 of those at the moment, the Ignite ones, and they're tough because of the consistency score. You've got to be really tight with your risk on those, and you've got to be really
I'm on the
clean
50Ks.
your base hits.
Hit a DLL, so I set myself back 6 days.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? Would you just reset those? Would you just like YOLO those and just?
I don't really want to reset it because it's 8 days to get to the payout.
Yeah.
From when you start it.
Mm.
It's technically 7 days to get a payout on those Ignite accounts, but for you to actually qualify for the payout, I don't think anyone's going to hit 3. You can get a payout in 7 days at 15% consistency. If you do on the 50Ks, I think it's like 373 and something cents per day in profit.
Yeah.
So it's very, very unlikely that you actually go and get the 7-day payout. It's 8 days, but if you have a losing day in the mix, or if you have a daily loss limit like I did, it's completely obsolete.
Yeah.
There's no recovering back. Also, this is exactly the same as what we did yesterday, just not as significant of a range.
Yes.
Blue Guardian's a 1K daily loss limit. As long as it doesn't have super low consistency, that's fine. Daily loss limits, I don't mind. On Top Step, the way I've been trading them, I use the daily loss limit as my loss limit for the day, and I risk the entire 1,000 on them.
Yeah.
I'm going with a more, on Top Step, I'm going in with a more, what's the word I want to use here? ROI approach. As opposed to trading them
more aggressive
based on actual like fundamental risk parameters and whatnot. Gold just got the double break. I should have pulled that up. That was a pretty good trade there. So it took the 50-minute orb high, immediately reversed when it took the low, and now we're also just below previous week's low on gold. Probably going back to 4,000 on this. Here comes a new. It's riding the Ivy low right now, Dan. What the heck?
Look at that. I thought it was going to come back up. Look at that.
What are we meant to do with this, Dan?
Be patient.
I believe it's 25, 20, 25, 30, just like Tradeify Lightning. For consistency, that doesn't make sense. They would all be different.
I believe it's 20, 25, 25, just like Tradeify Lightning. What's that for?
For the 20% consistency. Which is pretty tough.
Yeah. That's the standard, though, for an instant funded account, no? 20%.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Consistency goes up with the payout. Right on the cusp of what I'm willing to risk as well.
Yeah.
But again, on the eval, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Yeah, evals you can just go through.
So many questions regarding how I trade on evals and the risk parameters
Yeah.
I take. And
Me too. Me too.
so
It's
I
one of my
figured
most commonly asked questions, actually.
Today may as well be the day that I take some trades on them. It's so volatile too.
Yeah.
How do we go about taking fundamental setups on these?
It's just the swings.
Yeah, the swings are disgusting.
Yeah.
Like this was just that pop that we just had just now, 110 points.
Yeah.
From that low. So if you're trying to ride the IB further down, each attempt, it's just getting whacked. What I was gonna say, don't mind taking the trade on gold today because the stats are arguably better than they are on. Not that they're much better. IB by rejection on Tuesday at 61%. Oops, Monday, sorry. Wrong day. 66. But QQQ is really not that good for our data today. 53. Doesn't mean it's not going to go and take the low. It probably still will, but
yeah,
data is just not great.
That'd be great if it just chopped around here in this last quartile.
Yeah, Dan's getting excited.
Oh, I'm in already. I'm sure.
Oh, you're already in it?
Yeah, I'm already in. Already in. We'll see how we go. It's on the cusp of my risk. Like it was like a bit. If I'm basing, on my strict risk, it's like very, very, very on the edge.
Close, very close to getting whacked out.
Very close.
My mic is very low. I'm so sorry.
Maybe I'm just loud.
Is that any better? It sounds
Your
like
mic sounds fine to me.
Thank you. I'll start yelling into it. I do like the shorts. This looks very good.
Yeah. For me,
Very,
this
very
is
good.
just A+ because you just look at the VWAP. There's not a single close below the Neo VWAP. Sellers in full control. I try and avoid the days where we're just chopping like this around the VWAP. I don't do well in those sort of conditions. But this today, if it reverses massively and the candle that I've entered on is the one candle that reverses against me and it starts moving higher, then I just have to hold my hands up and just say, fair play. Which I've had to do a fair few times actually this this month, unfortunately.
Me too, man. Me too.
Yeah.
ES is a bit stronger, but the good news is it's still below the midpoint. As long as in the next 2 minutes this closes below the midpoint, everything is all hunky-dory. Everything's fine.
Yeah. I want it. Obviously I wanted to go to TP, but if it's not going to go to TP, at least just chop around below this VWAP for the next few minutes, and then it's probably just going to grind towards the IB low then.
Taking ES? I'm not. No, I hate ES.
Me too. I hate ES. I feel like my relationship with ES is strained. While my relationship with NQ, it's just been a hot romance from the beginning of the year by a country mile. But the ES, like that's a strained relationship for sure.
A hot romance, he says.
Yeah. Oh, it's been great. It's been great.
Yeah, I have a great time with NQ.
Yeah.
NQ and I get along very nicely.
Yeah, you could argue she gets some of you better than me for sure, based on your payouts this year. No doubt about that.
Yes, though. Yes, stinks. The amount of times that I've been stopped out of ES, hot romance, much stronger, Mike. I guess I could.
It is stronger, yeah.
Turn it up. Can't lie, I have not been scammed by ES. Yeah, trade a little bit longer and get back to me. You'll see. ES is sour.
But this sort of trade now, this is where, as a trader, you need to know what are your best setups. What are
My
the
mic
trades
is too loud. What the heck, man?
Yeah, it is louder. But you need to know what are the trades you need to absolutely be in. And for me right now, this is like, I have to be in this trade. All closes below the New York VWAP, right side of the daily VWAP, which is a green one, clear slope on the VWAP moving lower. If it reverses against me like this aggressively and it becomes the first candle in the entire session that goes against the New York VWAP and moves higher, then I hold my hands up and go fair play.
Fair play.
I will win more times than not, and I have won more times than not taking this sort of setup.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
It's got a minute left. 80 seconds.
I would like to see, though, blue candle.
ES closed under. I'm going to wait a little bit longer if I can to get in.
Fair.
It's at 27.7 right now.
On NQ? You're going to go NQ?
Yeah. I made the decision to only have my entries at the IB50 because of the way the market's been moving in terms of risk.
Fair.
So I'm only going to be looking to get in at my beautiful IB50.
Which is 27,800 on the dot. Nearly. Sorry, mate, but I really hope it does not do that.
Doesn't look like it's going to.
Come on, nice. I'd like to see a nice 5-minute blue candle. That will definitely help. No, first time in the entire session we've had 2 bullish candles.
I just wicked out though. $27.8 is a psychological level. Yes, yes, it is.
Yeah.
You're gonna get a nice fat blue candle right here.
Yeah. The market in July owes me that. I know we should never say the market doesn't owe anyone anything, but it owes me this. It's played with me this month.
That it has. Almost up to where I want to get in.
I thought you said IB50, yeah? Or will you take it a bit lower?
I'll take it at probably IB40. I just want to get as close to IB50 as I can. Press the red button. Press the sell button. Yeah, Summaries has been here long enough. He knows that when that one time that I got in and it immediately pivoted.
You've had a few of those, though. You've had a few of those because it is the IB40 is around about the VWAP, isn't it? New York VWAP. It's around about there on a day-to-day basis. So
we do have added confluence on MES as well. Not yet taking previous day's low.
Let's have a look. Oh yeah, look at that! I didn't even see that.
Nice added. It barely missed it, which I don't usually like the ones that barely miss because those typically yield a very strong bounce. It means there's a zone there that a lot of people are buying off of.
Let's hope not. Let's hope it's going to go lower there.
That's a huge added confluence for downside.
What it does here, the daily VWAP on MES, I think is important. as well.
That
You've had,
IV25, I remember the trauma.
yeah, I even got trauma seeing that. I mean, look at that. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bounces off it successfully. Would be very unfortunate if the time we've entered it decides to smash through it, but that's trading.
I do think the market is probably gonna, so just in case anyone likes to trade macro timeframes, I do think the market's gonna stay bearish until at the very least the end of July, so the next 3 days, which I know is a easy statement to be made. I don't think we're going to get a pivot until we start making some higher lows on the smaller time frames. Right now, it's extremely bearish. Extremely bearish. The overall trend, yes, it's still bullish. If you go out to the 24-hour, I'm going to steal it back for a minute. 24-hour is still extremely bullish with the move that we've made up over, got my drawings on here. The move we made up over, what, 4 years now? 5 years? This, however, is looking very similar to what we did. We've done it several Julys in a row. July of 2023, probably the best example of what happened. We remained bearish and ended up just making a bull flag. We remained bearish all the way until October, and then we had a pivot. The end of July, though, into August, and that's the end of midterms, if anyone didn't know. Pretty much midterms being set, but we do technically have until November that we could have this nasty chop down, wick back up until Trump kind of gets under control with his tweets and post and whatever else he's doing nowadays.
Yeah.
What's a huge confluence to the downside? Previous day's low not yet taken on SPY. We missed it by 10 cents. So that's another added confluence to the downside if we were to go take that. See if we get up to IV50. Last time I didn't take this, we got up to IV50 and then SPY was like 20 cents from IV high and it still ended up taking the low. So hopefully that happens this go around. SPY is a lot closer to the IV high than I would like. What were you going to say, Dan?
No, nothing. I'm just looking at MES at the moment. That is one big bullish candle to the upside there. That is not good.
BBC?
Yep.
It's one big B.
Yep.
One BBC.
Yep. That is one. Whoa. Yeah, it's.
Do you have options data where are the closest put or call walls in SPY? If you have that data, I don't use GEX. No. If anyone in, I'm sure someone in chat has GEX open. Does anyone in chat have GEX? I think Mark usually posts some of the GEX levels in here. Occasionally. It's Tuesdays, man.
Well, it's teasing me. That's for sure. As it does. Tuesdays always tease me, and this is a teaser once again. Sat in this now for 5, 10, 15 minutes so far, and it has teased me. That's for sure. What it does at the New York VWAP here is important.
Yeah, I agree with that, David. I really don't like when levels barely miss because it's a huge zone. 740 negative on SPY to the upside. Thank you, Sam. And GEX works when it does and doesn't. So we have 670 on Qs, super negative. I know that means it should go down to that level. And then on the flip side, we have 740 and 733. And then a huge call wall at 735, which 735 is right above previous day's low, which is somewhat okay. It's not terrible. Oh, it's a tricky one.
Cool. This is a proper tease.
The Tuesday tease.
Are Are you gonna hold out? You're gonna hold out for IV?
I'm waiting
50?
for IB 50. Yep.
Yeah, fair.
I'm looking for that entry because in the worst case, I get break even on the day. Best case, I get a 2R.
Yeah, I like that.
I would have presumed we had call walls above to fill before going lower.
Come on,
Look at that VWAP. Look at that VWAP.
Come on, VWAP.
Where's VWAP on SPY? I'm watching your screen right now.
VWAP. It's. I mean, you have to look at the VWAP. I mean, look at that bounce there.
Overnight VWAP.
On the overnight VWAP, yeah. I mean, that's a crazy bounce and a half. Hopefully, it just continues to go lower now. I mean, it's one of those where I just look at it and I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bounces before that. You know,
this is an ideal wick on SPY. That's a beautiful wick to the downside.
Yeah,
I honestly, I may take the shorts on gold. I think gold's looking a lot better. I know I don't usually trade gold, but this looks ideal. It's right just below the midpoint on the IB, close below the midpoint. ES tap 75%. We did. But you guys asked just before we started looking at the position. This is why I don't trade ES, because ES freaking sucks.
Yeah. We closed below the New York VWAP on the 5-minute time frame, so that's pretty decent. On ES, that is one hell of a wick.
That's a good looking wick.
It's a good looking wick, yeah. You have to admit that's promising.
It's a good looking wick.
It's a good looking wick.
It's a classy wick, everyone. ES tap 75 and then dumper pony. I don't know what that means. Dumper pony. Dumper.
Then does he mean dumperoony?
Dumperoony.
Dumperoony? Is that what they say in South Africa? Dumperoony?
In the wrong spot. I might take it on gold, because that would also avoid this nonsense we have going on SPY and Qs right now.
Yeah.
I don't like that close back over VWAP, and I don't even use VWAP.
No, it's not looking good at the moment. I was really hoping after that rejection of the New York VWAP, it would start moving lower.
I wouldn't be surprised if NQ takes low and ES doesn't. Now, this is what we get.
Look at that! Look how it's filling
Tuesday
that
data.
wick. Guys, filling that wick on ES. That's crazy.
Does everyone understand hot romance and calls wicks? Does everyone understand why we don't like Tuesdays that much? Just looking at this data, because across the board, even if the low was formed first today, it's 50-50. Just about 50-50. I think I'm gonna make sure the group is active first.
On the Tradify evals, yeah?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try gold shorts if it can get right to that 50 again. Because I do like this for downside. It looks much better on gold, and the reason I'm leaning towards that is because it avoids this mess on SPY and Qs.
Yeah, it's been so clean just before the IB sets, and then now it's just all messing around and chopping around.
Yeah,
it's a shame.
And somewhat good news, we do have crude is pushing up, which I guess it might also be bad news, because crude has been going with what Qs and SPY have been doing. This is a difficult one today because the data is not really there. But this is, so going back to the data on edgeful. Tuesdays are the worst day of the week, which is ironic because they used to be the best day of the week. But this data, 53% or 58%, has plenty of data points down here for why it wouldn't work. The only issue to this for us not taking it today, and I just had a call with someone about this yesterday, having the decency or having the control to be able to take every position, because the computer does every single position that it sees. So every time the IB sets, the data gets collected and it's portrayed to us in the form of edgeful. The data is taken regardless of what happens. So if Qs and SPY look like this on the day, the data doesn't care. It's going to take the trade regardless. And that's going to correlate over to the stats. And you're going to have your winning days, you're going to have your losing days. It's pretty much 50-50 on M and Q on Tuesdays. SPY's a little tiny bit better, but it's slowly getting back to that losing streak. But this just isn't a very good looking setup at the moment. But it's hard to go and look at this and want to take every position. I'm going to try it on gold. What would my TP be? If I take it with 2, so it's 110, 220. I'll take it with 4, and I'll put my stop less than 75. 520 stop. And then we'll put our TP way down here. My 20 limit. 40.11. Let's see if that ends up working out for me. Does edgeful have any P12 mid data to look at? Could you elaborate a little bit more on that, if you don't mind?
P12, yeah.
I'm not familiar with what P12 might be. 8:30 untouched and 5-minute opening high. 5-minute double break still alive. Yeah, we technically do still have the 8:30 level still alive too. Just barely though. Haven't hit my IB 50 yet, but I'm in on gold instead. I'm gonna ride the gold trade instead of going in on M&Q. Where are you trading gold? I got it on Tradeify.
God, proper tease. I'm getting ready to cut mine though. I'll probably cut it. If it moves any higher.
Yeah, it looks a little nasty. We'll see if SPY reverses back down. I feel like the size of the moves in the first 30 minutes makes it difficult for IB to work. Yeah, it's the same thing we did yesterday. We had, so I'm going to look at yesterday. Obviously, we didn't retrace all the way back up, but the other day that we did the same exact thing was June 24th. If I can scroll back to it quick enough here. Even July 7th, we did the same type of move, the same like overextended downside draw, and then kind of just pittered out for a little bit. But the June 24th candle, I'm almost there, I promise. There we go. June 25th kind of did the same thing. June 25th, sorry, not June 24th. So we had pretty much the entire move was in 30 minutes, right? If we make too much of a downside move a little too fast, it struggles continuing lower because so many people are already overextended in the positions that they wanted to open. So it's a difficult read for us to go in and try to take the position higher or lower. It doesn't typically happen when the market goes up though, because the market's designed to go up. Everyone loves when it goes higher. If you have a crazy move to the upside, Tuesday, June 30th, for example, crazy move to the upside, it does like to continue in that direction. It doesn't really care about having a pivot back down to rebalance in that sense. Gold's starting to get bought up a little bit too, which I don't like. We're over the IB 50 on M&Q.
I'm out, by the way. I got out before the IB.
Switch the direction on your position to the IB high?
No.
No?
No, because of that daily VWAP in the way.
Gotcha.
And I'm trying to keep it to one trade a day because it just stops me tilting.
Understood.
But yeah, but that's it. I mean, I can see the move to the IB high because look at that. That's a really strong move, isn't it? So I get it, for sure.
Looks like it's gonna go right to it.
Yeah.
Tuesday teas.
Tuesday teas again. Like it's one of those where, yeah, I think I spent about 5 minutes in profit and it just chopped around, but sort of break even and just draw down. But it's one of those where it's a good trade for me. It's the point I've entered is the point that it's reversed for the first time in an hour. So, you know,
I think I even forget sometimes too, this strategy. So I want to pull up for the algos. My stream, yes it is. So for the algo optimizer, the strategy on the IB, I think I still have it loaded from yesterday. I do. Beautiful. I get rid of that real quick. This is the drawdown period. So this is the overall chart for the IB. For anyone that doubts the IB working, this is the algo optimizer for 2 years. This is how it's worked for the past 2 years, August 2024 to present. Taking 2 MNQ every single day. You can see the win rate's not really that good though. Profit factor is 2.17, which is insane for 2 years worth of trading, but the win rate's not really that good. 56% win rate. You're at 21K in profit though, and that's with 2 MNQ every single day. Well, maybe not every single day, but 2 MNQ every single IB trade for the past 2.5 years worth of trading, 2 years worth of trading. For these positions, you can see on the drawdown chart, November and July, June into July, honestly, November and then June into July, jeepers. Those were the worst drawdown periods on the IB. So it's not that it's a bad position to take. Also, it looks like gold might wick me out just barely. I already got wicked out on it. Stop loss hit on gold as well. That is not a good Tuesday. But this one, I don't want to do it. I might as well. So I'll go in with a TP at the high now since the IB 50 hit. Pivoted the position to long. This should be the same setup-ish, same type of setup. Anyway, going back to the algos for the IB, this drawdown is expected. And if you guys have any doubts or any skepticism in the IB, this should put all that worry away with it, because coming up after June, July, we had the deepest drawdown was on July 13th and then May 26th of this year. Afterwards, so going to last year, afterwards, or 2 years ago, we had from August 6th all the way until April 22nd of the following year, where the IB was playing out directionally to the upside or downside without worry. Also, full TP hit on SPY for IB high. And that is with SPY was the one that actually had better stats today too. What I'm getting at with that optimizer is that the IB is going to come around within the next week. I think after these next 3 days, when the first round of midterms is over, we have Q2 completely done. Fiscal year is completely done. I think that will be a lot better delivery on what price will do for us, hopefully. Going back over the data, so high form first, we had a 75% stat today. This is Tuesday on ES. 12 times, 3 losses, 9 wins on the high forming first. So if this happens next Tuesday, it's still favored to go and take the correct level. Just a little unfortunate that we got shaken out today. Like in baseball, if the other team knows their signals, their chances of winning increase significantly. Are you saying the market makers know our signals?
It's one of those today when I see that where it, moves lower, the VWAP's respected, and then my entry, and then it decides to reverse aggressively against me. I can I can deal with that sort of day. Do you know what I mean? I can cope with that. And as you said as
Absolutely.
well, like you've got to have that long-term horizon. You've got to be thinking long-term. You've got to be thinking not judge yourself based on today or even by the end of the week or even by the end of the month. Like for me, I'm trying to judge myself on a quarter. That's the way I'm sort of thinking these days. I think quarterly. Like what am I doing by the end of this quarter? You know? And actually it's quite funny with if I just pull, can I pull my screen just for a second?
Go for it. I'm trying to find something anyway.
So if I show you guys this, let me show this very, very quickly. So this is, if it's going to load for me, that's today. No, that's from the previous day. Let's have a look. Right. So here today, this is my, if I just show year to date, my P&L curve. This is my P&L year to date, right? This here was in March. That was the last time I had a wobbly month. I had a really wobbly month there. My executions were not on point. I was very cocky after taking a lot of payouts in February, thinking I was the market maker, and the market told me, "No, you're not, mate." And my execution was poor, but my risk management was really poor that month. I was risking too much, risking too aggressively. This month, really, this is June and July, and June and July. You know what? Especially July, my execution has been sloppy in July. Like that entry today for me is not a sloppy entry. For me, that's an A+ setup. I'll take that loss. But there's been other losses I've taken in July where my entry is a little bit sloppy. But if you look at that compared to this, that is almost flat, that P&L curve. And that's purely just from risk management. That is just from keeping my risk tight. And it saved me for myself. It stopped my June and July looking like this. And the point I'm making is that you're going to go through rough spells with your trading. You're going to have times where you're going to go through drawdowns, where the market's not going to give you what you want every single day or every single week, but your risk management will save you. It's super boring, but it will save you. I promise you. It's doing it for me at the moment.
I'm going to ask edgeful AI real quick because I just saw that question in chat. What's the stats on NQ taking the high today given ES failed the IB by rejection? We're going to see here in a second. While we're waiting for this to think, the AI to think, I wanted to pull up this based on what you just mentioned there, Dan. So Anthony Crudell, how many people in chat know who he is? Show of hands in chat.
Yeah.
Wait for anyone that may be delayed. If you don't know, Anthony Crudell is the CEO of NinjaTrader / Tradeovate. So he posted, that was correct, right? He's still the CEO.
Yeah.
Didn't get anything wrong. Good. He posted, so he's been trading, I think 70 odd years, 60 something years. As a young trader, it was always about now, not the long-term vision, just today, win or lose. The moment felt so much bigger than that, than it actually was. So what he's saying in this post is essentially don't trade. You're not trading just for today. You're not looking to get into a profitable trade just for today. You're looking to get into a profitable long-term model or a long-term risk reward or a long-term run on trading in general. You're not looking to turn a profit every single day just because you come to sit at your desk. You either make money or you lose money. There's no between. What he's getting at is that the real reward to trading is that you need to be able to go about your day-to-day knowing that the trades you're taking are better off for your trades tomorrow. Which I agree completely, because how many of you guys in here have tilted? And that has, so let's say you lose a funded account, you tilt on your accounts for the day, you're unable to trade either the Asia session, Globex session, or unable to trade the following day. And a beautiful setup is presented on that day that you're not able to capitalize on because you don't have any accounts to actually make a profit on. I've done that several times. So the point that he's making is that you're trading for tomorrow and the day after that and your future, not just for the day. So going back to the question from Jins, what's the stats on NQ taking the high given the ES failed? So I went and asked edgeful AI how often does pure directional divergence on the initial bounce occur, where one instrument breaks out while the other breaks down. Over the past 2 years, this has happened 9 total times. So, with that data, this means that we should continue up to the high and go and take the high on MNQ. This is a 1.8% measure. This is not looking at any discretionary measures. This is not looking at, okay, if ES takes the high, but it's diverged with NQ during the IB. No, none of that. This is both of them are set short. The ES went and took the high. NQ looks like it's probably about to bounce off of maybe 27.8 right now. Hopefully. This is saying that when this occurs, it's only 1.8% of the time you have pure divergence, meaning that one instrument fails while the other one goes and takes a high and or low. So this is not a common thing that occurs at all. This has happened, and it's happened so few times that it actually listed out the dates. So July 3rd, funny enough, like 4 weeks ago. November 26th, October 30th, October 14th, May 1st, May 14th, February 14th, December 6th, and November 4th. Those are of the past 513 trading days, only 9 times has this happened, where ES takes the high and NQ does not go and follow suit. So what this is telling us is that we very much should go and take the high on NQ today, which is up to 27,993. So if you are in a position at the moment, longs are favored significantly based on the data. 1.8% of the time. I'm actually going to go and post this. So take a screenshot of this. Wish I could just show the amount of trading days, but this is fine.
It's crazy with the reversal, though. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about Tuesdays. I did see someone mention it could simply be because of the FOMC tomorrow.
Maybe. Yeah. It's so interesting. My stats, I always say worse on Tuesday. I remember someone asked me a while ago, they were like, why not just not trade on Tuesdays? And it's an interesting point, but stats, in my opinion, stats shift. You know what I mean? Tuesday can be your worst day for, say, 3 months or so. And then after that, it may be one of your best days. You know what I mean? And then you're sort of missing out on potential upside on the Tuesdays as well. So it's kind of one of those where I don't want to just not trade on the Tuesdays, but I want to make sure I am very, very clear with very clear entries. And today was a very clear entry for me, and it's still lost on a Tuesday, and that's absolutely fine. I would rather lose on these days where it just reverses against me like that. Since I entered, we had one bearish candle.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate.
Yeah, just one. So it's one of those where we only had 2 bullish candles for the whole half an hour before that. So I look at that and I go, yeah, I'll take that loss. I'll take that. Small loss on each account. And although I said my risk was at its absolute highest on these accounts today, I cut it before the IB 50. So if you look at the way I trade negative risk to reward. But because I'm entering at the IB 25, a sort of 0.5R loss for me is this. So this loss I took today is a normal winning day for me. So this is where I come back to negative R. If you're going to trade a negative R strategy, you've got to be really confident in yourself. You're going to be able to cut that trade when you need to. And for me, as soon as we close above this VWAP and then we start moving higher, I've cut it. Where I cut it? I've cut it around about there. That for me is enough.
Very good.
I was hoping it would go down a little bit more. It didn't. And that's just where you've got to, if you are going to trade negative risk to reward, I wouldn't recommend it for anyone who's a newbie trader. I would say 1-to-1 risk to reward is better for you at the moment, because to cut a trade is super hard. It is super, super hard to cut a trade. You know, it's not easy for me. Like, you know, I it's still tough, but you have to say hasta la vista and farewell to the trade if it's going against you. And this is where you just can't be stubborn. You've got to react to what the market is doing. As you know, got to react to the market with your entries, but more importantly, you've got to react to the market with your exits. And for me, the market's just telling me here with these two candles just here, Dan, you are wrong today. You're wrong.
Look at that daily view up, overnight view up.
Yeah, beautiful bounce. Beautiful bounce.
We already took the high, so it's a little difficult to assess what's going to happen on M&Q here.
It's crazy we're still in this range.
Yeah, this is going to be a pretty nasty chop day, I feel.
But you know what, though? What would annoy me most today, right, is not taking the loss today, okay? Because I would be more annoyed missing the winner today. Like, I missed the winner on stream on Friday, clear IB25 trade on Friday. I missed it. It's too busy chatting away. But for me, what's more annoying for me is not necessarily missing winner. It's not cutting the trade when I should. For me, if I'm stubborn, and I hold it here, I will take around about $225, $250 loss on each account. For me, that's like, why am I doing that? Why am I taking a $250 loss there when really I know I'm trading negative risk to reward? I really need to be cutting it here. We got a close above the New York VWAP. There's plenty of information for me to say there. Cut it early. And for me, I actually go away feeling fairly calm after a day like this. If I can look at all my accounts and go, okay, they're down $150, $160, $170, something like that, I can walk away feeling like no big deal. You just said before, that long-term horizon, if I look back on this $170 loss per account by the end of the year, it's going to be nothing.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can walk away saying you did well today, Dan. That is it for the stream today, by the way.
Oh,
so we have come to our end. I didn't realize it was already 11. I just took a look. It's 11:06.
Jeez.
But that will do it for today, everyone. Thank you guys for tuning in, as always. Anything else from you? Any closing remarks, Dan?
No, I think I said. I think we'll count that as my closing remark. What I just said. Be a good loser. Be a good loser. For me, I'm not going to trade for the rest of the day. I'm just going to walk away, and chill, and then come back tomorrow.
To close the stream, I ended up getting double stopped on MGC. Wicked up to the 75 and wicked right back down.
It's the markets today.
Yeah, it was rough. All right, guys, that will do it for today. We will see you later.
See you guys.